Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Friday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and what a night we are coming off of last night. Welcome back to all of you who joined me for that thrilling home opener for your Pittsburgh Penguins. They knocking off the New York Islanders, who, in my opinion, I hate them pretty much just as evenly, if not more, at this point in time than I do, say, the Philadelphia Flyers or Washington Capitals. They are just an unbearable, insufferable hockey team, and it was good to see the Pens get the win last night, 4-3. Lots of good performances all around by many players, especially a certain number 71 who was just en fuego last night. We'll talk about that game, what all went down in that to kick off the show here in a moment. After that, we will talk some Pittsburgh Steelers football. Final injury reports and game designations for both the Steelers and the Browns have come out within the past couple of hours. Who is in, who is out, and could we see someone return to the field less than 2 weeks removed from suffering a hamstring injury? That would be very, very good for your black and gold. After that, we will get into some extra Pittsburgh sports news, mainly focused on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tons to talk about them and anything else we happen to come across along the way. But before we officially get things going here on this fantastic Friday evening, welcome to all of you. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss when I'm live or upload a video again. I believe we are 6 subscribers away from 600 on the channel. So every little hit of that button helps. Also, feel free to like this live stream, share this live stream, Leave any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have in the comments section. I enjoy interacting with you folks that way. As a matter of fact, we have a commenter in here. Welcome back, Al on the Prow. Been a little while since we've seen you in here. Welcome back, Al. Glad to have you here on this Friday night, gearing up for Sunday Steelers versus Browns, kicking off AFC North matchups on the Steelers schedule. But before we do that, we got to start with the hockey team last night. The Pittsburgh Penguins knocking off the New York Islanders. A fantastic game by the Black and Gold. Wasn't, the most dominant performance, but you can tell that the grit of this team, like they showed up in Madison Square Garden on Tuesday night, it showed up again last night at PPG Paints Arena. Before we got into the game itself, we got a look. You see them right there on your screen as the final score is there as well. The Pens taking the ice for warm-ups. They had yellow buckets and yellow socks on, but they were wearing their normal home jerseys. And we were wondering, okay, what's that about? No announcement, no big reveal. The Pens debuting those new alternate yellow jerseys. They're kind of like, if you look at the back of my chair here, they're kind of like what the Pirates did with their City Connect uniforms. You got little nods to the city all over the jersey. On the shoulder, you got a logo with a river, and I believe there might be a bridge on there as well, paying homage to the city of Pittsburgh. I like them. I wonder what, fans as a whole have said about them. I don't think I've seen anything too negative. These jerseys are, by the way, a nod to the 1983-84 Pittsburgh Penguins, says Pens beat writer Seth Rorabaugh. Also, oddly enough, in a year that the Penguins are predicted league-wide to be one of the worst teams and be in the hunt for Gavin McKenna, the 1983-84 Penguins held a record of 16-58-6. And I think we all remember who the Pens drafted the year after that in 1984. So I like the jerseys, and as much as I want the Pens to win, if the Pens have similar fortunes to that team in 83-84, which results in a generational superstar coming here to Pittsburgh once again, I'd be okay with it. Heading into the game here, players got introduced. They held a special pregame ceremonial video for the big three of Chris Letang, Sidney Crosby, and Evgeny Malkin before they got introduced. Thought that was cool. Also, Pittsburgh Steelers, they were in the building last night for Pens and Isles. Believe it was Patrick Queen, Keanu Benton, Nick Herbig, and Cam Hayward, all there in those new Pens uniforms, getting the crowd hyped up before the opening puck drop. There's even a video circulating out there of Patrick Queen coming back from one of the commercial breaks, just absolutely hammering a beer before play resumes. So he's crazy. Hopefully that wears off by Sunday. On to the game itself here. Islanders had a couple of chances early on, but then the Pens, with an early power play, they capitalized. I think around 20 seconds into it, Evgeny Malkin throws the puck on net. Rickard Rakell and Sidney Crosby, they hack away at it in front. Malkin finds the loose puck, shovels it into the net for the goal. A power play goal gets the Pens on the board 1-0. It turns out that later on, I even think after the game ended last night, Rickard Rakell ended up getting credited with the goal. He led the fist bump line to the bench there, which, was kind of an indicator that maybe the puck touched him on the way in. So they looked at it, and it ended up being that he got the goal. Islanders came back later on in that period. Matthew Schaefer, first overall pick for the Islanders, making his NHL debut, flying up through the neutral zone, gets into the pen zone, leaves one off for Jonathan Drouin, who goes for a slap shot, sort of whiffs on it, but got, it was like a change-up floating puck. Tristan Jarry got caught off guard by the timing of it. It goes past him, made it 1-1. Into the second period, the Islanders, they took their first lead of the night. Matt Barzal hits Kyle Palmieri. He beats Tristan Jarry on the blocker side. Jarry, his positioning all right there. I think it was just an even better shot there by Palmieri, who, is just, he's probably one of my least likable guys on the Islanders. He was always a Penguins pest when he was with the New Jersey Devils. Now he's doing the same thing in the blue and orange for the Islanders. Pens tied up the game not too long after that. An excellent play in the Pens defensive zone by Tommy Novak. Diving poke checks the puck out to center ice. Philip Hollander tried to take off for a breakaway once he realized that he wasn't going to be able to beat the two Islanders defenders racing with him. Pulled up, dropped the puck for Harrison Brunick, and from the high slot, wrists one past Ilya Sorokin. An absolute laser of a shot from the 19-year-old from South Africa. Gets his first NHL goal of his career. Fired up for him. His family was in attendance. That's good to see. Like I said, before the season even started, this kid, give him a little bit of time, he'll impress you. I don't think he's going to be going back to the minors anytime soon. So he gets his first NHL goal. Also becomes the first player, of course, from South Africa to score a goal in the NHL. And Philip Hollander, who had his season debut last night, got his first NHL point on that assist. Pens, then again, I don't think even 3 minutes later, ended up getting another power play goal. It ended up being a 4-on-3. I forget exactly the penalties that went on to make it 4-on-3. There was some heated moments between both of these teams. Ricard Raquel goes down low to Evgeny Malkin, who's just standing there on the goal line to the left of the net. And Sidney Crosby, just phenomenal hockey IQ and understanding of what he needs to do, drops to a knee in front of the net. Roman Polak, Ryan Polak, the defenseman for the Islanders, is literally draped over Sid, trying to push him out of there. Sid down on a knee, holding his ground firmly. Gino passes it right off of Sid's twig and into the net. Easy goal. Crosby with that goal. That was his 626th career goal of his career. Passes Joe Sakic for moving into fifth most goals by one player with one franchise. Sakic was at 625 with the Colorado Avalanche. Before that, the Quebec Nordiques. Sid getting 626. Goes into fifth place there. Sits behind Mario Lemieux now for fourth most goals with one franchise. Lemieux, by the way, in the building last night. Sort of an impromptu appearance from him. There wasn't any sort of big, announcement over the PA system in the arena that he was there. They just popped him up on the screen. And what do you know it? Instantaneous standing ovation. So Pens, late stages of the second period, they're up 3-2. And the Islanders, for the most of the second period, they came storming back. And it was Max Shabanov, the top KHL free agent from this summer. He gets his first NHL goal, rips one past Tristan Jarry on the short side. Onto the third period, we go a stalemate for most of that period. At that point, the game really opened up for both teams. They exchanged scoring chances left and right, and it was Big 71 of Evgeny Malkin who ended up being the big difference maker in this one. Didn't score the goal, but from his own blue line, gives a cross-ice bank off the boards pass to Justin Brazeau. He keeps skating in stride, picks up the puck, goes in on Ilya Sorokin, dekes him out for the goal, turned it into 4-3. Gino, I'm watching the video right now of that goal, he just jumps up and down like that was the most craziest thing that he's ever done. Just hell of a play by Malkin. He has had a phenomenal start, to say the least, to this season. Obviously playing for potentially his future as a Pittsburgh Penguin. Great pass to Brazeau. Brazeau off to a hot start in his Pens career. He becomes the second player in Penguins history to score the game winner in each of his first two games with the team. He joins Chuck Kobasu, Penguins legend right there. Kobasu did that in 2013 and 2014. Brazo, just the 13th player in NHL history to accomplish that feat. The first since former Penguin James Neal with the Vegas Golden Knights in 2017 and 2018. That ended up being the final score right there, 4-3. Islanders did have a chance to tie it up for about most of the last 3 minutes of that game. They got a power play. Penguins were able to kill it off. The Islanders then took a dumb penalty. More on that penalty in the extra Pittsburgh sports news segment later on in the show. It was chippy. It was fast-paced, energetic, with tons of young talent in this game. Tempers flared here and there, and the Penguins get a hard-fought win, 4-3. They are now 2-0 on the season. Just, again, outstanding team performances, and individual players stepped up in big ways. Malkin, just talking about him, he's probably the number one star of the game in my book. 2 primary assists. Actually, 3 primary assists because the Rickard Rakell goal got credited now. So Gino off to a hot start. I believe that now makes 5 or 6 assists in his... No, it's 5 assists for him in 2 games. He is off to a unreal start. Harrison Brunick, first NHL goal. Philip Hollander, first NHL point. He really looked good subbing into the lineup for Philip Tomasino. Ben Kindle, still waiting for him to get on the stat sheet here, but he has had a good pair of games to start his career. Ville Koivunen, who was on the top line with Crosby and Rickard Rakell, ended up getting demoted to the third line. Hollander went up to the first line. I think Koivunen played better on that line. And the defense, Chris Letang, he is doing his best impersonation of a Mack truck out there right now. Parker Wotherspoon, I like his defense. Same thing with Ryan Shea through these first couple of games, and probably the best defenseman for the Pens. And it's better late than never, in my opinion. Erik Karlsson hasn't lit up the stat sheet, but I'll tell you what, through 2 games, it's just the beginning of the year, I know. He is starting to look like the Erik Karlsson that the Pens traded for, 2 years ago now. He is off to a hot start. His mental gaffes, bad turnovers in his own zone, those through 2 games have almost been eliminated. I say almost. He did have one pretty egregious giveaway to the New York Rangers on opening night, but it didn't hurt them. But yeah, Karlsson, he has just been fantastic aesthetically. Just watching the game itself, he passes the eye test. Really, all the Pens defensemen do, more or less. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that we've seen from this team in the first 2 games of the season. Not only have they been relentless on the fork check with the forwards, not only have they been getting the puck cleanly out of their zone more often than not, but the defense, they have been all given the green light. Go in there, get involved in the offense, step up, keep the play alive. Don't be hesitant in that. We'll get bodies back the other way. And that is what is generating the Penguins tons of zone time and offensive success against, through 2 games, 2 of the best goalies in the NHL, in my opinion. Igor Shesterkin opening night and Ilya Sorokin last night. So that was that for the game last night. A hell of a game by the Pens. They're now 2-0 on the season. They will have a rematch with the New York Rangers tomorrow night. We'll see what adjustments were made by those 2 teams. And then after that, the Pens, they will go on an early season West Coast trip starting in Anaheim Monday night. But 2-0 start. I know people are going to probably bitch and complain. This team ain't going nowhere. You're getting 2 points further away from Gavin McKenna, another franchise-altering player that you can, possibly draft. My opinion, season, they'll probably hit bumps in the road, and it might derail eventually. Let's just have a little bit of fun, a little bit of, hope for the future while we watch these kids and while we get to see Sid, Gino, and Malkin, or Sid, Gino, and Tanger still doing their thing. So that's my take on that. 6 of you in here, welcome to the live stream. To the comments, we go here. Al on the prowl. Sorry, been super busy. Oh, it's all right, Al. Just glad to have you back here. Can't believe it's already time to talk hockey. What the heck happened to September? Yeah, time flying by. Hard to believe the Pens are already about to play their 3rd game of the year. Honestly, hockey, my favorite sport. I come on here. I do, my best to talk about football. But hockey, that's my love. My favorite sport to watch and commentate, and it's twice as good when you see your team doing stuff like that, just outmatching the opponents like the Pens have done so far. Welcome, Echelon Motion Pictures. Welcome back late, but why won't nobody give us one wide receiver? Echelon, you're here just a little bit early. We will get into some wide receiver talk. Trust me. It seems like it'd be, a problem if we didn't talk Steelers and wide receivers here on the channel. We will get to that here in a little bit with one new name rumored to be linked to the Steelers. We'll get into that here in a little bit after we talk about Steelers and Browns and their final injury reports here in a minute. Couple of other new commenters in here. Mark the Shark and Bigfoot Bob. What up, Bigfoot? Welcome, Mark, as well. Malkin always starts out good, but then runs out of gas midway through the season. Yeah, well, he does do that, but it's also, you got to wonder, does he have extra motivation because it's the last year of his contract and his future with the Penguins isn't guaranteed? Kyle Dubas, Malkin, and Malkin's agent, they're going to meet during the Olympic break here in a couple of months and discuss the future. So Gino, he is out right now to prove like, hey, I may be 39, 40 years old right now, but I am still doing this at a high level. I am still a top 5 second line center in the NHL, a top 20 center overall, and 5 assists. I think, what are they all primary? They might all be primary assists so far. He is generating offense to start the season like we haven't seen from him in the first 2 games in years past. So let's just see how long he runs with it. I don't want to, drop the stigma on him that just wait, he'll fall off eventually here. Let's see how long Malkin can go here. He is clearly one hell of a motivated individual. Al on the prowl here again. I'd be a better hockey fan if the Canadians were worth anything. Hell, at least the Bruins suck. Yeah, Bruins, they are, kind of caught in the crossroads right now. No more Patrice Bergeron for them. Brad Marchand, I'm still scratching my head as to why they traded him to the Florida Panthers of all team. But, Canadians fan out there, I get it. Just please, I'll probably bring this up at some point later on in the program. Don't be one of those insufferable Canadian fans who have delusional pipe dreams that Crosby is going to be wearing a Habs jersey one day. It's just not going to happen. There's some dumbass out there, insider or whatever, Greg Wisniewski, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. He, for the past 24 hours, has been like on a holy crusade, undaunting tangent, putting out there, Sidney Crosby, his family wants him to leave. Crosby's going to get traded. Malkin's going to go down to Florida, down there to Sunrise with the Panthers. It's not going to happen. Especially Crosby's. Malkin, if he ends up, getting traded somewhere, that's at least, respectable. I think we always, kind of lined up Sid with Mario as like a one jersey guy and Malkin as maybe like a Jaromir Jagr guy. Not, that he plays till he's past his 50s and plays for a bunch of teams, but a guy that, might end up going somewhere near the back end of his career. But I mean, yeah, never, says Alan the Proud. Thank you, because it's not going to happen. No matter like how many times Sid says repeatedly, no. He literally said just a couple of weeks ago, I'm sick and tired of saying the same thing over and over again. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. But yet the Canadian media continues to force feed it to us, trying to speak it into existence. So damn bad. It's pathetic, honestly. It's pathetic. Al on the prowl. Love all my teams, but I hate all my teams at the same time. I mean, yeah, I understand that. Honestly, that can be said for the Pittsburgh sports teams as well. I mean, as much as I love the Pens and I love the idea of them, tanking for Gavin McKenna potentially this season, it also upsets me and makes me angry that it's going to be another year with Sid, especially Sid, who can still play at the best of the best level. Malkin and Letang, it sucks that, to get Gavin McKenna, you're also wasting another year of those guys. I love the Pittsburgh Pirates. I do. I love the Pirate P. I got the hat right here just off camera. You see my whole getup right there behind me. I love the Pirates. I just hate the guts out of the people in charge. Honestly, they are trying not to blow up here on Friday, trying to keep things positive here. And then the Steelers, as much as we love the Steelers and, we're always in the relevant conversation, just can we finally either commit to a rebuild or finally, win something? A playoff game, at least at this point, would suffice. So I kind of feel what you're coming from there, Al. Why would anyone go play in Canada? I think Canada, those teams, they have to overspend on free agents to get them to go there. Weird that there's no NHL games tonight, says Mark the Shark. Yeah, I saw someone, you started with 3 games Tuesday night. You had, another 3 games or something like that Wednesday. Last night was a full slate, and then just now on Friday, where we're back to nothing. You go all in, all teams in action last night, and then tonight there's nothing. That's really weird. Talking about, getting all of your fans hyped up in the first week of the NHL. Everyone's, hyped up. Hell yeah, hockey's back. I don't care what game is on right now. I can tune in and watch the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks out on the West Coast. Sorry, Alex Nedeljkovic, had to do it there. I feel bad for you, my guy. But fans, they tune in for 2 teams tanking it out at 10 o'clock at night right now to watch a game in the NHL. I think they really missed an opportunity there to get some good viewership on their games tonight. Especially, having a bunch of games last night made no sense. You had Thursday night football. You had some college football. MLB postseason was going on last night. So you had a ton of different sports. And then Friday tonight, I mean, no NFL football. I think there's 1 or 2 half decent college football games. I think I looked, and then don't think there's there's some baseball, but still less of a slate of games that you have to compete with, especially the NFL. So NHL really dropped the ball on that one. Al on the prowl, this is a great channel. You do fantastic job. We'll try to promote as much as possible. Thank you, Al. I appreciate it very, very much. 6 subscribers, I believe, away from 600. That is the next milestone here on the channel. By the way, hope you all not only stay throughout the entire night tonight, but I also hope that you come back here on Sunday. We will be live, popping it up right here on the screen right now. We will be live. Steelers versus Browns, AFC North schedule kicking off. Tried to find, 2 guys who are going to go up against each other a good bit on Sunday. And this is, I think, a perfect matchup. Myles Garrett, not, of course, going to go one-on-one with Darnell Washington, but you best believe Washington is going to be seeing a whole lot of 95 in white and orange on Sunday. So I hope you all join me back here on Sunday. Excited to see some AFC North football and get fired up and probably say some profanities here on the screen because we all hate each other. Speaking of the Steelers and the Browns, we're going to shift gears right now here for a minute and get into some football talk. Have not spoken about the Steelers since Wednesday, and today, just a couple of hours ago, as a matter of fact, final injury reports for the Steelers and the Browns have came out. Going to pop up the Steelers final injury report right here, and some fantastic news. You are looking at it right here. Let's first mention what happened yesterday. Steelers had a practice. Joey Porter Jr. looked like he's ready to get back into the starting lineup. He was full go yesterday. Jalen Ramsey, like he did on, I believe, Monday, pretty much the entire week leading up to today. Yesterday, just did some stretching with the team and then did not practice. However, today, and you see it right there on that injury report, Jalen Ramsey today out there doing some stretches, looked very nimble, very spry, was back in individual drills and practices. He is questionable for Sunday's game against the Browns, and honestly, that is a very, very positive sign. You're talking about, fresh out of the Ireland game against the Vikings, Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette said, "Oh, Jalen Ramsey, he and Calvin Austin, they're both gonna be out multiple games here. Ramsey with his hamstring injury." As soon as you hear that, you're like, well, damn, that puts him out for both the Bengals and the Browns game. The Browns this weekend, and then the Bengals on a short week Thursday night. Ramsey, though, questionable. Very positive sign. Even more so, it's not just that he's questionable and that he was, a limited participant, just did some light practicing. No, he was a full go that you see right there on the injury report. So great to see that he got one full go practice in before this weekend's game. If I had to guess, honestly, Ramsey, questionable. Do the Steelers, really going up against a rookie Dylan Gabriel, and to be quite honest, the only wide receiver that I feel truly threatened by on the Browns roster right now is Jerry Jeudy. I think the Steelers, I said this, when it was first speculated that Ramsey would be out for a while. I think with Joey Porter Jr. coming back, you can live with everyone else in your secondary healthy, but Ramsey, you can live without Jalen Ramsey for this weekend's game, and maybe get him back for the Bengals game. That is the plan that I would stick to if I'm the Steelers. I mean, sure, do your due diligence, have him go out there, warm up pre-game versus the Browns. If he looks any bit less than 100%, just hold him out. Let, Darius Slay and Joey Porter Jr. and everyone else do the heavy lifting against Cleveland, and then get another couple extra days for Ramsey instead of being at 90%. Get him to 100% Thursday night on a short week against the Bengals. I think that would be very beneficial to the Steelers overall. Only one other Steeler besides Ramsey that you see here on the injury report, the final injury report, only one other Steeler has a game designation. That is Calvin Austin. He is out DNP for 3 straight days for the Steelers, so dealing with his shoulder injury. If he's out, already did not practice at all. Heading into the Browns game. I doubt on a short week he'd be good to go against Cincinnati as well. So he is out. Everyone else on the list, full participants and good to go. That does include Joey Porter Jr., who makes his return since week 1 with a hamstring injury. That does include Jaylen Warren, who had a knee injury that surprisingly held him out against the Vikings in Ireland. And that does include Alex Highsmith, who, after suffering a high ankle sprain in week 2 against the Seahawks, He was a light practice Wednesday, full go the past 2 days. He has no designation. Everyone else on this injury report that you see, good to go. So very positive news there for the Steelers. Just in case Jalen Ramsey cannot go, by the way, almost forgot about this guy, and I really shouldn't have. Beanie Bishop, who's on the Steelers practice squad. We heard from him today. He says that he is ready to go this week if the Steelers call him up from the practice squad in the event that Jalen Ramsey cannot play. He said, I always prepare to play, even if I don't. We're having guys get called up every week. Just seeing guys around the league, I stay ready. So that is some very good that's a very good mindset there from Beanie Bishop. If I had to guess, he probably will get that call. You'll see him be the number one slot nickel corner, and you'll probably see Brandon Echols bounce outside and inside, bounce back and forth there to give Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay a spell there on the field. So the overall very positive looking injury report there for the Steelers. As for the Cleveland Browns, they too also have their injury report, their final injury report out. Just one guy who will not play on Sunday on this list for them. That is defensive tackle, I believe, Michael Hall. He is out with a knee injury. Everyone else on this list is good to go. That includes, Malachi Corley. He's been dealing with a groin injury, but he is good to go. Myles Garrett was dealing with a little bit of an ankle issue, was limited Wednesday and Thursday. He was a full participant in practice today. DeMonte Casey, former Steeler, forgot that he was there. Honestly, I knew Devin Bush was there. Totally forgot that DeMonte Casey was a Brown. He, with an illness, missed Thursday's practice. And is now was limited today, but he'll play. David Njoku, Ethan Posick, their center. Whole bunch of guys on this list for the Browns, but sounds like just like what you saw on the Steelers list, they will be fully rested up, fully healthy, and ready to go here on Sunday, in for an absolute dogfight between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday afternoon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 10 of you in here right now. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. We are at 595 subscribers, so just 5 away. You can count them all on one hand. 5 subscribers away from 600 on the channel. If you are new here, please hit that button. Thank you to the new subscriber that has been welcomed to the community already. Before we get into the extra Pittsburgh sports news of the day here, another comment while I was talking about the injury reports there from Al on the Prowl. This game against the Browns is a sneaky big game for us. It is. And honestly, both games are against the Browns and against the Bengals. The Steelers, you want to get a death grip chokehold on this division. You go out there, handle your business. It will probably be ugly. It always is an AFC North play. Go out there, handle your business against the Browns. I got a couple of stats here saved up that we will talk about pre-game on Sunday. But Mike Tomlin, I think, has beaten the Browns every single time in Acrisure Stadium in his coaching career, except for that 2020 COVID year playoff game where, we had the whole Marquise Pouncey snapping the ball over Big Ben debacle. Other than that game, Mike Tomlin always beats the Browns in Acrisure Stadium. Hopefully that trend continues this weekend. Handle your business against Cleveland. You move then on to the Bengals. Now Tomlin, as good as he is against the Browns in Acrisure Stadium, he is completely oppositely bad on the road on short weeks. So handle your business against the Browns. Just go beat the Bengals as well. Honestly, at this point, I know they got Joe Flacco, and Tomlin is definitely definitely scared of Joe Flacco. Honestly, the Browns, in my opinion, a more dangerous team than the Bengals right now. So handle your business against Cleveland. Maybe get Jalen Ramsey back for Thursday night, and still go handle business against the Bengals. I could see this team splitting, these two games. They could very easily lose one or the other, but you got Aaron Rodgers, who's playing like the Aaron Rodgers of old. You had your best defensive performance, arguably, except for, a portion of that fourth quarter against the Vikings. Your running game got going a bit with Kenneth Gainwell. Now you get Jalen Warren back in the fold as well. But let's keep things rolling here. Out of the bye, I think the Steelers are pretty good as well. Let's keep things rolling here. Handle your business. I think, the Ravens, will get into them maybe here in a little bit, but another no-go for Lamar Jackson. This weekend, they play the Rams. That's going to be a hell of a tough game for them to win with Cooper Rush. So, yeah, Steelers, big game for them, and, pretty much locking up this division before October ends. So, let's keep it rolling here, boys, in my opinion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get into the extra Pittsburgh sports news here in a second. I apologize if my voice may decide to go out here in a little bit. Lots of talking over the past 3 days, covering 2 Penguins games, covering all the news of the week as well. Hang on here. I'm taking a stroll here through Twitter to see if we missed any new news since we have been live here. Haven't gotten a chance to look at it. Ravens, final injury report heading into the Rams game. No Lamar Jackson, no Emory Jones, no Roquan Smith, no Devontae Walker, no Patrick Ricard, and no Chidobe Awuzie Zay Flowers, also questionable with a shoulder injury. Yikes. That is not a good looking injury report here. And also, gonna turn this down a little bit. Looks like we got a post here from Myles Garrett an hour ago. I was just pausing there. I saw a video, Myles Garrett posting the clip from the Pat McAfee show when they were in Latrobe, and the Steelers fans there were saying, were chanting F Myles Garrett. Garrett reposted that and added on from his media availability today or in the past couple of days, him saying for sure that he loves when opposing fans heckle him. So Garrett sending a message there. Honestly, could care less. I just want to go out there and beat the Browns and see them hold them to nothing. We're focused on championships here, while Garrett, he can focus on the petty BS like that. Mr. Oh, I want traded out of Cleveland because I can't win here. And then $40 million gets thrown his way, and he's like, you know what? I will waste my career here in hell on earth known as the Cleveland Browns organization. So thought that was interesting there. Looking here, seeing if there is anything else. Got a couple of happy birthdays coming up here in the extra Pittsburgh sports news segment. Also, we'll get back into Penguins versus Islanders a little bit. Some repercussions from last night's game have been divvied out to one Islanders player for an egregious cross-check he gave last night. Looking if there's any other videos or anything here on the Steelers before we continue talking about them. Got another video here of Jalen Ramsey going through individual drills today. Looks pretty spry to me. I wouldn't, be shocked if he plays here on Sunday, but also my head's telling me, hey, let's get him, all the way back instead of most of the way back for Thursday in Cincinnati instead. Real quick here, okay, I did bookmark that Myles Garrett video. We will get back to that later. I'm almost surely I'm sure of it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, into the extra Pittsburgh sports news here for the day. We are going to stick with the Browns, by the way, talking about them. Didn't get a chance to talk about this on last night's live stream while we were reacting and commentating the Pittsburgh Penguins game, but since we last spoke in this form, the Cleveland Browns, they made another trade. They shipped off Joe Flacco to Cincinnati earlier this week, and then Wednesday made another trade swapping out pieces in their secondary. They traded Greg Newsome and a 6th-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars for Tyson Campbell and a 7th-round pick. Interesting trade there between the Browns and the Jaguars. Not the most interesting trade that they've done in the past couple of months. However, if you remember, there was the Jags and the Browns swinging a trade on draft night that sent Travis Hunter down there to Jacksonville. But interesting trade by the Browns. Honestly, I'm going to say that they're losers in that, and that's not just because I hate the Browns. I'm just so confused by it. Like the Steelers have Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., and Darius Slay. I thought the Browns were going to have this fantastic threesome of corners. They got Denzel Ward still. They had Greg Newsome, and they also had Martin Emerson. Emerson, I believe, tears his Achilles or his ACL in training camp, and now Newsome gets shipped off for Tyson Campbell, who's a downgrade in my opinion. Just real quick before we get into that, the Browns just making trades left and right, rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic right now. They make this trade, shipping off Newsome, bringing in Campbell. They traded away Flacco. They also traded for tackle Cam Robinson last week. So crazy stuff there. Stuff going on with the Browns. They're fire sailing everything, in my opinion. Back to why I think Tyson Campbell is a downgrade. Greg Newsome, thought that he was, there for a bit, getting on par with Denzel Ward as a pretty good corner for the Browns. I mean, hell, he pretty much stifled and frustrated the hell out of George Pickens. By the way, Michael Brewerly chimed in on this, saying that boy so ass his team sent him away before a rivalry game. So Michael Brewerly, is he George Pickens or not? We will still debate and wonder that. But I mean, this Tyson Campbell, he now subs in for Newsome, who I thought was a good corner. He's going to be in the lineup on Sunday. I think Browns DC Jim Shorts indicated that they are preparing to play Campbell in this game. If not, it's going to be Dom Jones as the other corner there for the Browns, which I'm going to be honest, I don't know who Dom Jones is. Tells you how good things are going there in Cleveland. This Tyson Campbell, according to some stats, through 5 weeks, he has been targeted 3rd most in the league and has given up the 3rd most yards and the 2nd most touchdowns. That to me sounds like the Steelers can get DK Metcalf away from Denzel Ward, number 4 and number 8. They could have themselves quite the hell of a day come Sunday. That'd be good. The only thing, positive for the Browns in this is that they do have some decent draft capital for next year. I believe they got their own first-round pick, the first-round pick from the Jaguars. They also got some, extra 5th and 7th round picks as well. So they do got a lot of draft capital, but will they do the right thing with it? Who knows? Probably not. Speaking of not doing the right thing, or I don't know what the hell they're doing here, with Flacco now gone, Joe Flacco, that is. Welcome, Flacco. See you in the comments section. Shedeur Sanders, now the backup to Dillon Gabriel. So one way or another, the Steelers will face a rookie the entire game on Sunday. They are able to clobber 5'11" Dillon Gabriel like what this pass rush should do. Then, if Gabriel goes out, Shedeur Sanders is coming in, and it'll be everywhere because everyone likes to glaze over a 5th round pick. Lastly here, on the Browns specifically, we just talked about Myles Garrett in that interesting video he just posted, reposted about the Steelers fan saying F you to him. Also pulling his whole Halloween lame-ass shtick again, saying that it would be an honor to add Aaron Rodgers to his QB graveyard that he puts out on his front lawn like a little kid every year. So that's a weak sauce there. Hopefully, Broderick Jones has the day of his life, and I would love to see just one time Darnell Washington pancake him. That'd be the most hilarious thing ever. Carrying on here with the Steelers, real quickly, we're going to move through these briefly here. We heard from the coordinators yesterday. Steelers OC Arthur Smith, to no surprise, said that the Steelers will probably be using some 6th offensive lineman jumbo tight end packages if it, quote, gives them an advantage. Said that Spencer Anderson, who has been the jumbo tight end out there, 74 is eligible. You heard that a lot a couple of weeks ago in Ireland. Smith said Spence is a hell of an athlete. Also, using this type of package, Anderson with Darnell Washington, just line them up on one side together and tell the defense, hey, this is coming at you. Good luck stopping it. When the Steelers have had that jumbo package running the ball, they have had 13 rushes for 72 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 first downs. That's outstanding on the ground. They're also, when they pass out of that jumbo tight end set, they are 6 for 6 for 57 yards. Crazy. 18 total snaps for Spencer Anderson. The Steelers have gained 121 yards with him on the field in that set. Crazy. Also heard from Steelers DC Terrell Austin. Had some praise for a handful of his players. Talked about Nick Herbig. Said that Herbig, when the Steelers drafted him, they thought he would be just a designated pass rusher, but has really blossomed into an underrated run defender too. He said that with Alex Highsmith coming back. He said, talking about Herbig, he's earned the right to be on the field. It's up to me, says Austin, to find a way to get him onto the field. He's going to play a lot. So Herbig still going to get some excellent playing time with Highsmith returning. Could see a good bit of 3 outside linebackers on the field at once, Herbig, Highsmith, and Watt. I would like that. Austin, talking about his first-round rookie on the D-line, Derek Harmon, said all the things you need from a good defensive lineman. He has all the traits, and he's continued to get better. I agree with that. Harmon hasn't flashed, superstar stuff on the tape yet. Had a sack against the against the Patriots, but Harmon, you know, haven't had anything negative to say about him, which is always a good sign. Austin, talking about Jalen Ramsey, said that if he will not be able to go, the Steelers are going to have multiple players trying to fill his role. No shock there. One guy who could help fill that role, Joey Porter Jr. Austin said that it might take a series or two for Porter to get back to feeling like himself, recovering from the week 1 hamstring injury. And also, last thing that Austin said, talking about one of guys he's going to have to scheme for this weekend, Quinshon Judkins, rookie, second-round pick out of Ohio State, phenomenal running back, in my opinion. Austin, talking about him, said, you better get your big boy pants on, because if not, he'll run right around you, and if you're messing around, he'll run right over you. So, very lofty praise there for Quinshon Judkins, rightfully so. I wanted the Steelers, if he was available, to maybe move up and take him, but the Browns took him pretty early there in the second round. Wrapping up some extra Steelers talk here for the day as we head into the weekend. Believe it was Al on the Prowl who mentioned it earlier. Wouldn't be a Steelers live stream, or no, it was Echelon who said it. Wouldn't be a Steelers live stream if we weren't talking about wide receiver rumors. Still, nothing concrete on the fronts of Jacoby Myers or A.J. Brown, the Steelers, looking at those guys, Chris Olave. But speaking of Olave here, the Steelers could be in the market for a New Orleans Saints wide receiver. It just might not be Olave, as Andrew Filipponi, 93.7 The Fan, his sources, they've been very spotty for him. Take what you hear from Pony with a grain of salt. But he says that the Steelers have reached out to the Saints during the bye week to see about the availability of Rashid Shaheed, the number 2 wide receiver for the Saints down there. I believe, you count him as a number 2. You got Brandon Cooks down there as well with Olave, but Shaheed, going to be a free agent at the end of the year, says Filipponi, a big play wide receiver, and does bring return capabilities on special teams. Honestly, talking about, maybe getting a guy who isn't going to be on a ton of teams' radars. It's not, the most, name brand type of wide receiver that could be had out there, but still, though, easily would slot in as the wide receiver 2 on this team. I'd be interested in it at the right price. We'll see what that price is as we near the trade deadline. Also, speaking of just rumors on the Steelers adding people, apparently there was a rumor floating out there a couple days ago of the Steelers being a potential landing spot for Devon Achane, the running back for the Miami Dolphins. I mean, I don't really know about that. Don't know, what role he would play on this team, who he would be kicking out, Warren, Gainwell. Could it maybe be like a reversal of, the trade the Steelers and the Dolphins made for Minkah Fitzpatrick? Could the Steelers, send like a young guy and Caleb Johnson down to Miami and bring up Achane? I don't know. I just don't see it right now. It doesn't make sense at this time. Last Steelers note here from the day, there are upgrades coming to Acrisure Stadium, according to Steelers Now and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The Steelers intend to replace over 58,000 of Acrisure Stadium's 68,400 seats by 2028. A replacement of the seats that will cost around $17.8 million. So some new seats coming to Acrisure Stadium in 3 years' time. Think that will be interesting. Wonder if that will be, maybe an entire off-season thing, or if that will be, maybe they do the upper bowls or the lower bowls one year and the upper bowls the next, and then they get into the suites. I don't know, but interesting. Some new, hopefully comfier seats coming to Acrisure Stadium. 10 of you in here right now. Welcome to the stream. Please hit that like and subscribe button. To the comment section we go here. Going to catch up on some of Flacco's comments real quick here. Flacco, didn't know TJ Watt is now Jordan brand. Sent you an IG. Yeah. He was he Adidas or Nike before that? But yeah, Watt, the Jordan brand. Sounds like a good match there. I'm not your average Joe Flacco. No, you are not there, Flacco. No, you are not. You are in your prime right now. Flacco, though, he's just hanging on to his NFL career for dear life right now. Ramsey only questionable only now. He was at practice and a full practice participant at that. That makes me even more encouraged, not only for his availability against the Browns, but also could almost be a lock for Thursday night against the Bengals. So Ramsey being a full participant, absolutely love the sight of that. Yeah, and the last thing here for Flacco, HN, that's weird. Yeah, no idea where that came from. It was some Miami Dolphins, fan account there. And I have no idea what the, bases of that are or anything like that. But yeah, so thought that was kind of crazy. Keep your comments rolling in, ladies and gentlemen, while you're doing that. Having a bit of a technical issue here. Let me see if I can sign back into Twitter here. Sort of bugged out on me. All right, there we go. For some reason, Twitter just changed on me now where it's back to the white setting. It's lighting up my face right now, if you can't tell. Anyways, back to the extra Pittsburgh sports news here. Just a couple of things here to wrap up the show on the Penguins, and then a tiny bit of stuff on the Pirates. We talked about this last night a little bit. Pittsburgh Penguins forward Brian Rust. He continues striding towards rejoining the team, practiced with the team as a full contact participant on Wednesday, also practiced with the team during their optional morning skate yesterday. So even though Dan Muse, Penn's head coach, said he will remain sidelined for another week or so, who the hell knows if Rust will even join the team on their West Coast trip starting Monday next week. Rust out there already, practicing as a full contact guy. Very encouraging there. One extra note from the game last night for the Pens. If you were here, you obviously saw my reactions to it. If not, I'm pretty sure if you follow the Penguins and follow Penguins hockey, you saw this video all over. Chippiness was too light of a term to say what was going on between the Islanders and the Pens at certain points last night, and Islanders forward Jonathan Drouin, with 14 seconds left on the clock, takes a costly 5-minute major penalty for his team. He cross-checks Connor Dewar for the Pens in the side of the helmet. 5-minute major, he gets kicked out of the game, takes the offense, takes the face-off and the man advantage for the Islanders off the board. And this morning, we found out that there were repercussions for his actions last night. Drouin had a hearing this morning with the NHL Player Safety Board, and he was given a 1-game suspension for that cross-check. Good. What a dumbass decision by him, not just, in the moment taking the penalty, but also, pretty much screwing his team out of, still a half decent chance of tying up the game there late. So good job on that, Jackass Drew. And speaking of jackasses here, mentioned him earlier in the show, this Greg Wyszynski. No idea how to pronounce his last name. Anyway, Greg, please deactivate your social media accounts. Please, wherever the hell you're hearing this stuff, which, I'm thinking you're not hearing it at all. Just never talk about the Penguins again, quite honestly. This Wyszynski, in the past 24 hours, has at least sent out 3 posts about Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and the Penguins. His first post from last night, or this was from yesterday before last night's game, on the Sidney Crosby rumors, Wyszynski says everyone around Sid wants him to leave. Sid doesn't want to leave, and that's kind of where we are with it right now. Later on in the day, he said the growing narrative in the league right now, with Alexander Barkov going out for the Florida Panthers, and Miami and Evgeny Malkin having a house in Miami where he spends his time in the offseason. The growing narrative is that the Panthers will find a way to trade for Malkin and have him as their number 1 center in Florida before too long. So that's 2. First 2 posts there, I mean, yeah, they're annoying, but could there maybe be a little bit of truth to them? Sure. Malkin loves Miami. He even, I think, said during the preseason or training camp when it first began, he said, me possibly going somewhere else. There are positive stories of people leaving places where they've been long-term and having success. And he cited directly Brad Marchand with the Panthers. And then for the Crosby thing, everyone wants him to leave. I mean, sure, that could be the case. His family could want him to leave, but Sid cares about his legacy more than anything here, especially in Pittsburgh. So those 2 posts might have had a bit of a truth. Might have had a little bit of truth, but still unrealistic. And then, I didn't want to bring those up last night. Then he had to go and triple down 4 hours ago this afternoon, saying this about Sidney Crosby. I'm a believer he's gonna get traded this year. Him and Malkin. But again, it's going to be their decision given their trade protection. But I think Sid moves on. Give me a minute here. Give me a minute here. Give me a minute here. Trying to find the exact video here from Sid. There's the quote about the quote from his agent. Trying to find the exact video here from what he said on someone's front lawn. But just I'm beyond saying words about this anymore, because it's just so damn annoying to keep talking about the same thing, because moronic people keep on bringing it up. But yeah, that Greg Wyszynski, however the hell you pronounce his name, I believe Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin will both be traded this year. And the words of Crosby saying, I don't know where the hell this stuff comes from, saying that, I'm tired of answering the same question and same rumor every year. Those words haven't even ended echoing yet. And yet, these morons still trying to just cram it down our throat. Look at this. Look at this. Crosby. He's going to get traded. If you want to, never mind. No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to say, hey, Canadian media trying to shove the Crosby thing. I got a certain finger for you here, but you can guess which one it is. Moving on here before I get into too much trouble. Last couple things here for the Pens today. Mentioned last night they wore those new yellow alternate uniforms. They look pretty sick. They also today released a schedule of when they will wear those alternate uniforms, and to no surprise, got a couple of Metropolitan Division teams on this schedule. The next time they will wear it, it will be November 6th against the Washington Capitals. Following that, they will wear it November 22nd against the Kraken. And then pretty much from there on out, they'll either wear it, once or twice a month, except for January, those jerseys for home games. So that's cool. And last thing here, happy birthday to two young Penguins down on the Wilkes-Barre Scranton farm right now. Both Tristan Brose and Avery Hayes turning 23 today. Both men who made excellent cases to make the opening night roster out of training camp for the Pens, but right now are down there still trying to produce at the AHL. Happy birthday to them. Also, switching gears here to baseball, happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew McCutchen. Turns 39 today. 17 seasons in the MLB. Over 2,200 games played. 332 home runs. Near over 1,100 RBIs. A 271 career batting average. Over 2,200 hits. If Kutch ends up this offseason calling it a career, very commendable. If not, age 39, still, my heart says, hope he comes back. But will the Pirates do that? Probably not. Jason Mackey of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, still got to keep what he said in mind. He, in his opinion, says that the reunion tour between Kutch and the Pirates is over. Also, Mackey was back at it yesterday on 93.7 The Fan, dropping even more good news on us, saying that he does not think the Pirates will give out a multi-year free agent deal this offseason. So they will continue the same sorry-ass plan that they've had for ever since Ben Cherington's been here now. We'll go find the newest, hottest, washed-up free agents and bums on the free agent market, bring them in and, see how good they are. No multi-year free agent deal coming. The drought continues since Ivan Nova in 2016. He was the last Pirate to have signed a multi-year free agent deal. Fun. To the comment section we go here before we wrap up tonight's show for the day. Flacco in the comment again, sneaker guy, so being part of the Jordan brand shocked me. It was such a great game, yes, last night, yes. What a scumbag. Yeah, I have no idea who this Wisniewski is. I'm sure he's a nice guy, just dude, keep your knowledge about the Pens to yourself, especially when they are so freaking far-fetched. It's not even funny. Crosby will be traded to the Steelers to be the wide receiver too. That way he stays in Pittsburgh. Hey, don't tempt me with a good time. Sid, he can probably figure it out for as much of a motivated, high IQ athlete he is. If you were to give him a couple months here, he can be the Steelers WR2, maybe get a couple of catches in a playoff game. I'll tell you that. Just give him a little bit of a time to adapt and watch him go from there. concepts here in the comment section. Hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you're having a good day too, concepts, all of you. Yep, clinking beers in the chat right there. Glad you all are doing well. And like you say, Flocka, right here, I'm alive. It's all that matters. Every day you wake up with breath in your lungs, it's a good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a good day. Living the dream. Just keep on pushing there, boys. Think that's going to wrap it up here for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Concepts here with a buzzer beater comment right here. If you could pick one wide receiver to trade for from this list, Shaheed, Waddle, Meyer, or Olave. Well, the easy one there, just terms of best player available there, would be Waddle, probably followed by Olave if he's healthy, then Jacoby Myers. Though Myers, Myers out of all of those guys might fit the Steelers the best because he is just a absolute tenacity filled, just a prick in the running game. So Myers, I like him. Shaheed, I'd be all right with it, but still though, I want a guy that you open up. If you're a defensive coordinator, I want a guy that when you look at that Steelers wide receiver room, if I'm a DC, Waddle, Olave, those types of guys next to DK Metcalf, that would strike some fear into some defensive coordinators' hearts. I'm not sure, Shaheed or bringing in an Alan Lazard at this point in his career would do that, in my opinion. Roll Tide, Waddle, but Myers is a great build. Yes, if you want to go over, just pure skill and production as a wide receiver, Waddle and Olave, especially when those two are healthy. If you want a guy who I think legitimately would fit the Steelers best, probably Jacoby Myers, who can go out there, be a nice, solid route runner, be a okay replacement. God forbid Metcalf goes down and still contribute in the running game. So Myers would be my guy there, but he's probably also I think realistic if the Raiders would be serious about getting rid of him. But yeah, if Waddle or Olave are available as well, I'm taking my swings there. Also, and I think Flacco's been the one that pushing this. After watching the highlights and a little bit of that Thursday night football game last night, the Giants and Eagles, man, it might take the Eagles to maybe have a couple more ugly losses like that. And the idea of A.J. Brown possibly being available for a trade, that could be a possibility. If I'm the Steelers, then I might jump all over that. Not only do you reunite the Ole Miss boys in Metcalf and Brown, just two humongous physical wide receivers, but also, I think you might be able to pick up that A.J. Brown contract. You're not paying outstanding money to Aaron Rodgers, and probably you're going to be taking a quarterback still at some point in the draft. I'm not, the way this draft class is shaking out, I'm not sure if there's going to be even anybody worth the Steelers spending a first-round pick on. But, you want to talk about giving your new quarterback or Aaron Rodgers, if he comes back on the cheap again, a hell of a group of, pass catchers. A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, you got those tight ends. You got Warren and Gainwell, and maybe if he develops Caleb Johnson in the backfield, be solid. And there goes Flock. H-A-B. Hell yeah, it's my favorite pick. Yep. Concept, sorry I'm late, but did we miss out on Dart and Scatabo? I like Harmon a lot. I do like Harmon a lot, but yeah, I have seen a ton of Steelers people absolutely incensed over the past couple of hours, saying, what the hell, we could have had the literal human juggernaut in Cam Scatabo and a Anakin Skywalker cosplayer who's a pretty good quarterback in Jackson Dart. So, yeah, could have had them, but, still, though, we got to remember, heading into that draft, that the Steelers, it was still fresh on everyone's mind that you just had the Ravens just run the football right through your face for 4 straight quarters, and you did nothing about it. So Harmon, as much as I think Dart could be a good, quarterback for the future, hindsight's 2020, but you got to put yourself in your mind back into that moment and remember, Steelers needed desperate help on the D line, and also, who would have predicted that literally every single quarterback, except for maybe Lenoris Sellers a little bit, would have fallen to, part of my language, complete and total dog shit. Every single good quarterback. Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier's been hurt. Arch Manning, been terrible. All those guys who were supposed to be the headliners of this fantastic quarterback class, they all fell to shit. And yeah, so with them once looking promising like this football god gift to quarterbacks draft class, with Derek Harmon falling right into your laps there, I mean, yeah, it's thinking back to it, it was the right decision for the Steelers at the time. But now hindsight 2020, maybe they regret it a little bit. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be, I wouldn't love Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo on the Steelers, but that's the, what you got to deal with in sports. You look back on decisions, a year, 3 years later and say, I should have made this pick, but you got to always remember, put your mindset back into what you were thinking at that time. Flacco, I wanted Ibuka. I wanted Ibuka too, and that, he was probably one of the few guys that I would have screamed for the Steelers to take over Derek Harmon, but he went, 21 to your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Flacco, 2 picks before. So, yeah, I thought Ibuka, he would have been a perfect guy in this offense, would have been able to, been able to be a savvy route runner, be a sort of the perfect complement to DK Metcalf. I would have loved Ibuka, but Steelers just missed out on that chance too. Concepts here. Rodgers will be ecstatic with Brown and DK. I also like the Ibuka too, who went at 19. Yeah, went at 19. I mean, Rodgers, he'd get A.J. Brown going immediately. For as much as he's throwing to DK Metcalf now, if he gets a little bit of chemistry with Brown, he will make sure that he makes that man happy. I'll tell you that much. Concepts was hoping the Steelers would sign Milton Williams till he got $26 million a year. Harmon was the answer at draft time. Hindsight is 2020. Yep, hindsight is 2020. Harmon, I think, still going to be a very, very solid player. Could very well be the heir to the throne of Cam Hayward here in a couple of years. And Milton Williams signing for $26 million a year. Feels like the free agency class was absolutely inflated this past offseason. You had the Cardinals and the Patriots throwing out money because they had it left and right. So I don't even think the Steelers were, even in competition for a guy like Williams there. Harmon already saw it to me. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Steady as a rock for a first-round rookie, which you normally never see the Steelers give that type of trust to rookies like that. So, like that right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Think that we are winding down here for the night. One last scroll here through the old Twitter timeline before we wrap up shop here for the night. Let's see if we got any new news before we are done. Seeing tons of different reactions here to the Myles Garrett video that he put out there a little bit. Everyone roasting him left and right. Browns fans are trying to chirp back, and that is very annoying. You see, at least, there's a little bit of respect in the hate with the Ravens. The Browns fans, however, they claim that we're like some big rivalry. No, your little brother, and you guys haven't accomplished a damn thing as a franchise, and yet you always, are the ones talking the loudest. Like, pipe down, little bro. Pipe down. All right, that is going to do it for the night, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for joining me here this evening. Also want to thank each and every one of you who joined me for the past couple of nights as we have been live for the Pittsburgh Penguins games. Back to football now on Sunday. And as I mentioned, the Ravens, there's Flacco on cue with the puke emoji. But once again, hope you all join me back here on Sunday. Steelers, Browns will be live a little bit before 1 o'clock. Again, we'll do some pregame stuff. It'll be a hell of a game on tap. This absolutely hate-filled game between these two teams, and it should be fun. We'll see what comes of it. One last time, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Like this video after the fact, share this video, leave a comment in the comments section. Any thoughts, questions, opinions that you have, I will get to those later. Go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on the 3 social media platforms you see here, and tune in here a little bit later on for a new edition of SCSR60. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your Friday night. Back here on Sunday for Steelers versus Browns. Peace.